I'm not ready. I'm hitting record right now. This is not an optical illusion. My cat likes to lay on his back. I just had to get that out real quick, so my bad. Anyway, here's the real one. I've been warning y'all. I've been telling y'all. I've been saying it. Sometimes this doesn't happen to me. I'm very humble. I'm very, grounded. Also, I get no fucking views. But it doesn't happen to me. But we lose the plot. It's people get so popular, they turn into South Park characters driving Priuses. They just love the smell of their own farts, right? Like you're losing the plot a bit here. And I swear I'm not trying to pick on them. It's just unfortunately this is where it keeps coming up. ESPN's First Take is back at it again. Let me pull that up here. There was a small back and forth where Cam Newton called the Patriots fool's gold, That's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. Fool's gold. He called the Patriots their number one, but, I'm assuming obviously that means, they're not going to advance. They're not a serious threat, whatever, or they'll get bounced first game of the playoffs. And I think Mike Vrabel had a very nuanced, very cool response where he was like, oh yeah, that's fine. It won't happen till it happens kind of deal. That's the response I saw. If there was a different one, I'll have to look at it. But that's the response I saw. He was very measured. He was like, he's entitled to his opinion. That's fine. Very cool. Very normal. And then somebody asked Drake May about it. And then Drake May said, okay, I don't even know where Cam Newton would say this, I don't know what he's on. And I think for a lot of older people, it's very, very, it's way more of an insult if you're a lot older. It's like, who? It's like, who is that? And they get in their feelings, basically. Older people get in their feelings, and I don't, honestly, I could be insanely wrong. I really, really, really don't think that Drake May meant it as a big of a slight as it kind of came across, or as they took it. Because I think Drake May genuinely just is, how do I put this politely? He's very unattached to the online world and critiques and all that. He has a wife that seems very, she just tries to be as normal as she possibly can. It comes off almost as as fake, but I think that they're just so authentic that it comes off as fake to people that are inauthentic, because they truly are just living their lives, right? And he has work, and his work happens to be NFL quarterback, and he happens to be really good at it, and that's what it seems like. But when he clocks out, he really does it seems like he really does just try to live his life. And his wife, again, she just tries to be normal. She just tries to be normal, that he tries to be normal. Even in the face of her comments are constantly the first lady of New England, the safest family in New England, just all this shit, right? They just seem to be very grounded. They try to be very normal. He didn't mean it as a slight. Here's where we get into the problem. Which Ryan Clark, sometimes it's very, very hard to keep defending what they do and say. this is one of those times. I really like Ryan Clark, but here's what he had to say. Drake May is a liar. First Take is #1 morning show. Don't tell me you, an athlete, don't know that. Don't tell me you, a athlete, and you don't know Cam Newton's on this show. You're lying. And that's where I'm saying that this is where we started, where we're losing the plot a little bit. You give yourself so much more importance than the reality of the situation, first of all. Like, I just think that you're losing sight of what your show is supposed to be. Your show is supposed to be talking about sports and going through different topics and giving different analysis, critiques. You have players and journalists and whatever. You have people talking about it. You're not supposed to think that, like, oh, I know every athlete watches this. Oh, I know that GMs and organizations pay attention to what we have to say. It comes across as diluted. It comes across as you're just giving yourself much more importance than what it really is. You should not try to be bigger than, like, the story. You should not try to be bigger than what you do. I would never, ever, ever, ever. I can have as many subscribers as Mr. Beast. I'm never ever gonna think that I am bigger than, like, Liverpool or the Premier League or whatever the case might be, because I'm covering that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, they can start narratives, they can start trends, they have done so in the past, whatever the case might be, but at the end of the day, it's the NFL. Like, you're not bigger than the NFL. The NFL doesn't owe you anything. Players aren't beholden to what you have to say about them. It reeks of self-importance. It reeks of like losing the plot. Again, just like, why do you think you're bigger than this? So it's just become a trend in a lot of sports media coverage, and especially First Take, and especially those who come from First Take. Again, I'm going to keep repeating it. I think Stephen A. Smith has become himself a little bit bigger than like just now a sports guy. He's not more than sports, That's who granted him that. But anyway, he just like, hey, I have been in the business for X amount of years, and yada, yada, yada. You just get this, like, arrogance. Kendrick Perkins saying he made Ja Morant. Dog, there's a lot of criticisms you can level at Ja Morant. Kendrick Perkins making him is not one of them, right? Ryan Clark, right here. First Take, #1 show. Dog, I like First Take and I like sports. I have not sat down and watched First Take in years, okay? And again, it's not a slight. I'm not trying to slight. I'm not saying I'm above First Take. I'm not saying I'm better than First Take. It's just not how I consume media, And for them to think, like, no, surely teams have huddles and go to team meetings and watch our show. Like, that's just silly. Like, that's just silly. So, again, you just have to be careful not to think that you've become bigger than what you're trying to cover, or bigger than who you really are. It's just crazy to see. Whether it's like, it's very popular to see now, even like food influencers that's like, oh, I'm not gonna pay. Oh, you don't want to comp my meal. Oh, this and that. Like, they're delusional, right? Like, they might have 200,000 followers or whatever the case might be. You're delusional if you think you're owed something. So I don't want to become that. It seems like we are trending towards that in a lot of different fields, and yeah, it's just sad to see, man. It's just sad to see. And again, First Take just keeps taking these hits. Like, there's no other way to say it, hits, and they become easy targets. Like, everybody just started dunking on them. I saw an ex-player say like, yeah, we go to work, and this is the first thing we watch. Others are saying like, who wants to clock out of work and then go watch this? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just not a thing that's clocking to them. I'm quoting Justin Bieber now. What, it's not clocking to you. Like, it's just weird. And somebody said ESPN's a bad product. I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, it just becomes unwatchable. It just becomes too tedious. And hopefully ESPN First Take can kind of go back to what it was, to like trying to create content that is good, that is full of analysis, and not like, how will this affect LeBron's legacy? And I know it's difficult, and that's why I don't post as much as I do, because like, sometimes I just feel like this is forced, and so I get it. They have to be on every single day for like 2 hours, or however long that show is. So you must just be like, fuck, I gotta run thread here. I'm picking at bones here. I'm picking at scraps. So it does suck, but at the same time, like, that's why, I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let me know what you think, though. How about this? Let me know if you even watch First Take. Like, you sit down and you're watching it. Again, I swear I don't mean this as a slight. The only times I see like First Take on, and somebody else did point this out, I saw it in the comment somewhere, so I am stealing it a bit, but it is true. It reminded me. The only times I see it on is like at airports, where like the sound's not even playing, or like certain like waiting places, like at a doctor's or something, and I'm just like, it just seems kind of weird to have it on there, but whatever. The news has kind of gotten a little bit toxic and divided, so it's like, yeah, let's avoid that. So I get it, put on a sports show. But yeah, or sometimes bars, like in the middle of the day, they'll have ESPN on too. And it's like, okay, I guess that, that's fine. But I haven't sat down and watched it in a while. The closest one I come to watching is like First Things First. I do like that show. But again, I went on a massive tangent here. Let me know if you watch it. Like, if you sit down and watch it. Again, it doesn't even have to be live. If it's live, that's interesting too. But let me know if you like sit down and watch. Like, I'm gonna watch First Take right now. Let me know.